I have these stock rear leaf springs. These are the original leaf springs that were in the truck, and obviously they're coming up on 22, 23 years old, something like that, and they've sufficiently become soft. This overload spring keeps them from dropping down and flattening out or going into a negative arch. And you can see at ride height, I'm basically almost sitting on the overload spring. So unfortunately, what that does is every time I hit a bump or flex out the rear suspension at all, I'm flattening out these springs on this leaf, and that makes for a not so great ride. There's not much I can do about it besides having the springs re-arched. Eventually I'd like to get a custom leaf pack for the rear, but Uncle Sam took a good chunk from me this year, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. So what I'm going to try to do is to get a little bit more life out of these stock springs. I'm going to pull this overload spring out, and my buddy sent me these Progressive Add-A-Leaf, multi-leaf Add-A-Leaf. He basically gave them to me for free because they were missing some parts, and he got another set, and he just sent me these because he's a nice person. I'm going to go ahead and replace that overload leaf with these Progressive Add-A-Leafs and see if I can get a little bit more life out of these stock springs. I actually really like these stock springs because they're nice and broken in, and they're soft and they flex really well. But just like I said, every time I hit a hard bump or whatever, I'm flattening them out, and it's kind of fit for a jarring ride. The pieces that were missing from these were the U-bolts and one of these spring pads. I replaced the spring pad, and obviously I don't need U-bolts because I have this U-bolt eliminator kit. So they're gonna work out perfectly for me. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and pull these apart and take out that overload leaf. All right, so I got them pulled off. If you're doing this on your truck, it's gonna be basically the same process, but instead of undoing those bolts there, you're just gonna undo the U-bolts. Now I've got this, got that off. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that off. Okay, so now that the axle is free from the leaf springs, I'm gonna jack it up a little bit, lower those jack stands down so I can drop the axle off of the leaf springs. All right, so you can see here now, the axle is off of the spring pads, sitting up off the spring pads, so I can get access to that bolt and pull that out. Next step is going to be getting out the centering pin here so I can pull the leaf pack apart. These haven't been apart in a while, so let's hit this with a little PD blaster. Probably should have done that a few days ago, but we'll see. Alright, so I have the vice grips on the centering post there. Let's see if this baby comes off. Eureka! That was easy. Alright, so the leaf pack is essentially apart now, but I don't have enough room to pull that guy out yet. Here, I'll show you. I don't have enough room to get that guy out. I didn't get the truck quite high enough, so I'm gonna jack the truck up a couple inches so I can slide that sucker out of there. Alright, so I pulled out my bottle jack. This is actually, side note, the jack that I carry with me all the time, just in case. It's a safety jack. It's got a bunch of extensions and pieces and stuff like that, so it comes in pretty handy on the trail. You just have to have a spot to put it. I'm not a big fan of high lift jacks. They scare me. I just find this to be easier. It's more compact, it's easier to carry. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick that under the pinion and see if I can get the axle rotated back up a little bit to make install easier. Right, so normally you would not want to put a jack under your drive shaft, but in this case there's really no tension on the axle. It's just floating in space. So I couldn't get it under the pinion. So I'm gonna use this spot under the drive shaft to rotate that pinion back up. Okay, that looks about right. All right, so I've got these disassembled. I pulled out the pins for the C-clamps. I pulled off the bolt for the center pin here on both of them. So they're basically loose and ready for install. Let's see if we can get them in there. So I've got them lined up here, but I can't get the center pin in because there's just too much space there. So I'm gonna clamp the leaf together and see if that gives me enough room. Still gonna be too tall. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna jack up the rear end again. All right, so my shocks are at full extension. I can't get the axle any lower, and the pin is just too long to get underneath there. I could cut the pin prematurely, and you're gonna end up cutting it anyway, but I'd rather cut it after I have it fully bolted in place. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and undo my shocks, just a couple bolts, and that's gonna allow me to lift the rear end up a little bit higher. I also had to undo my breather line for my ARB breather because it was fully stretched out. I had it routed over the brake lines here, and I didn't realize that at full droop it was pretty taut. I tested it before, but I don't know, maybe I just didn't notice. So I moved that out from underneath these, or out from over top of these brake lines, and I moved it over to here. And what I'm gonna do when I put it back together is I'm gonna zip tie it up there so that it has more extension instead of getting caught on these brake lines. Okay, shocks are out. All right, Eureka. All right, now, of course I forgot to have the nut in my hand, so. All right, I've got it all back together with the pin in place. The center pin, I'm not sure what the torque specs are for those, but generally it's pretty low, like 15 pounds. Because the center pin is just for centering, it's not really for holding any load. So I'm just gonna sort of feel it out. Okay, that feels about 15. Okay, so next we're gonna install the clamps here. Align the leaf spring center pin with the spot on my leaf purchase. Now, because I have a 10.5 inch rear end, the hog nose is a little bit longer, so I have these multi-position leaf mounts. So I use the forward position, which moves the axle back 1 inch. So I'm gonna drop it into that hole right there. Or I'm gonna try to anyway. Well, that's not good. That's not good. Had a bit of a boo-boo. As I was trying to align the axle pads back up with the leaf springs, it fell off the axle on the other side and the slip yoke slipped out. So, I mean, it's not a big deal. I'm just gonna go ahead and get the axle in place, and then I will take off the pinion yoke and go ahead and put that drive shaft back together. I'd rather get the axle in place first. That would be easier than trying to line that up. This axle is heavy as hell. Safety first, folks, safety first. Wish I had a lift. All right, everything is sitting where it needs to sit. I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall the plates. I've got all the bolts in place. These are 5/8 grade 8 bolts. So I'm just going to go ahead and slightly torque them down and then finish with the torque wrench. Okay. Now, like I said, 5/8, grade 8. Let's call for 180 foot-pounds. I usually do 150. Okay, I got everything torqued down. I torqued the C-clamps, center pin, 4 bolts for the U-bolt eliminator kit. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put the shocks back in place. I'm gonna go ahead and put the tires back on and put it back on its weight, so I can go ahead and reattach that drive shaft. This is the side that fell on the ground, so I want to make sure I get that brake dust shield bent back out. Alright, that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and put that drive shaft back on. I don't really need to show that part because you shouldn't have to do that if you're doing these. It's just 4 bolts. Oh, excuse me. Ghetto sounds. It's just 4 bolts on that flange there, and then I'll slide the slip field back on the drive shaft and put it back in place. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and reattach this breather line that I pulled off. Again, this is the same. This is a 10.5 Toyota axle, so it's a little different, but everything's basically the same with the stock axle. It's just you have different kinds of bolts and stuff, but it's all the same procedure. Come on, grab those straps. There we go. Oh no! Kidding me? I barely tightened that. Well, that's a pain in the ass. Broke the end off the breather. I'm gonna have to get another one. Crap, do I have one? Let me check. Well, that's what happens when you're working on your own truck. Sometimes you run into issues. Luckily, the insides of these breathers are made for an Allen. I guess they break off quite a bit. So let's see if I can get that back out. There we go. All right. These things can barely be tightened down. It's nice that the inside of those is made for an Allen wrench. It makes it a lot easier to extract it if you screw it up like I just did. And luckily for me, I have an extra fitting laying around. I think I'm getting the black lung, Bob. I guess this is a bonus feature, how to replace the end on a breather line. I'm just gonna cut it off. It doesn't matter if I lose a few millimeters of line. I'm just gonna use a razor blade here. There we go. All right, end's cut off. New fitting is just a press fitting. Make sure the fitting is pulled out like so. And then the tube just presses into the end. There we go. Push it into place. Line replaced. Let's try this again and see if we can do it without breaking it, because I don't have any more of these fittings. And that's got full thread engagement. I'm gonna leave it like that. It's getting really hard to turn, and I don't want to screw it up again. All right, that's good to go. All right, let's zip tie this up to these hoses here. Okay, past there, and right there. Give that a snippy snip. All right, we're fully reassembled. Let's clean up the tools and drive around the block and see if we notice anything different. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that, but that one's been bent. Or either this one's been straightened. I don't know. But these are going in my scrap metal pile. Alright, well you can see how worn out my springs are. Even with the Adelise in there, the springs are sitting almost flat. You can see, it's like I've gone into negative arch a little bit right there. You can see that slight upwards bend. It's also on this side. These things are just worn out. We'll see if I can get any more life out of them with these Adelise. I have a feeling it'll probably push them over the edge. But, you know, like I said, they were basically free. And we'll see how they go. I hate to give up these nice soft springs, but if I have ones made, probably like by Alcon or something, they should be nice. So I just don't have $1,000 to spend on springs right now. So let's go for a ride.